What's going on, melon farmers? DMAC back with the third and final installment of the what would happen if we made an entire roster 50 overall, franchise potential 18-year-old players. We'll go 9 seasons and see if they can become Stanley Cup contenders and how long it would take them to do it. It has been a fun road so far. We have not made the playoffs yet, but we did have our best season so far here in year 6, where we went 26, 48, and 8. I'm assuming next season we are going to take a massive step forward. Now, I got a comment the other day from someone who said, wow, the Calgary Flames three-peated. They won 3 Stanley Cups in a row. What does their lineup look like? So very quickly before we get started, I do want to show you guys what the Calgary Flames actually looked like last year. And then when we get to the beginning of next season, just about everybody on our AHL team is like an RFA still. So I'm assuming we're going to have basically the same lineup that we did last season for the Tucson Roadrunners of the AHL. So I can show you guys the repeat Calder Cup champion Tucson Roadrunners as well. But first things last, let's go into here. Go to the Calgary Flames, and I'll show you what that kind of team looked like, man. Anyway, before too long, if you haven't already, scroll down, hit that like button. So here we go. We start off with Elias Lindholm, who played 24 minutes a night. Wow. After that, they had Alex DeBrincat. They had Matthew Tkachuk, Dylan Dubé, Vinny Trocheck, Lassie Varakis, Andrew Mangiapane, Oliver Shillington, Jakob Pelletier, Henrik Borgstrom, Marty Cott. This guy's everywhere on Earth all the time for some reason. Marty Cott's just everywhere. Razi Ristolainen, Miles Wood, Hampus Lindholm. There you go. Jamie Alexiak, 82 overall, playing on the third pairing. Adam Ruzicka playing on the fourth line as probably their center. Vicky Soderstrom, the other number one defenseman for them, playing almost 27 minutes a night. Marcus Nudivara, also a third pairing defenseman. They had Kalle Yarncroke on the fourth line. And that's all she wrote. That's a good team, eh? And then in net, Tristan Jarry, who played 66 games, is 86 overall, has 84 points in front of Pavel Francouz. So they both are pretty decent goaltenders, man. All right, so that is what the Calgary Flames look like, and now I will see you guys at the beginning of year 7. All right, so as we get into the season, I'm going to jump to the AHL and show you what team we got. Vladimir Prokhorkin, 88 overall left winger. We got Nicholas Seidenberg, the 21-year-old, 87 overall left/right winger. And we also have Dylan Gunther, the 24-year-old, 82 overall player. We picked up Jesper Boqvist because we needed to hit that cap floor. And now we're actually near the ceiling, and I'm pretty happy about that. We got him for the rest of the 3 years at $19 million a season because I can't do math. Matthias Winehandle's 84 overall. Willie Anderson, 79. Matthias Michelli is 78. Liam Kirk is 80. Jan Yannick is 79. Tyrone Unberger, 73. Matthias Sapovaliv is 77, and Tate Wise Gamgee is 74. On defense, we got David Jirasek at 84, next to Cameron Crotty, who's been here, I think, since day 1, actually. Jesper Skroder, 79. Cam Dineen is 78. Pavel Mintyukov is 77. And Eddie Bukaboom is 21 years old and 75 overall. In net, we've got 80 overall Tyler Brennan and 66 overall Rasmus Korhonen. I'm going to stop trying now. All right. So that's our AHL team. This is basically the exact same AHL team we had last year. The one that has won back-to-back Calder Cups at this point. I know the intro to this video is getting a little on the lengthy side, but let's get into the NHL lineup where we're going to switch things up a little bit. The fourth line is not going to have very good line chemistry bonuses or anything, but every other line is going to be a little more appropriate because I had guys that were like 75 overall in the second line and guys that were like 82 on the third line kind of thing because I had my lineup written down and I was like, I'm just going to stick with what I got. But now it's like, you know what? We got to just go with it. So we got Sergey Snyperov beside Joey Terrible. and Terry Mulch is moving up to that top line. So we have playmaker, sniper. And then on the second line, we have got Diesel Mcneasel with Cavatapi and Otto Stompy. Cavatapi, legitimately the best fitting center we had for that line. On the third line, Piper Placebo does move down to that third line with Chancey Leroux and Bam Bam Berube moving up to the top 9. Now that he's 87 overall, he just fits too perfectly on the third line to move him anywhere else. You know what I mean? So Rhodey Lacey moves down to the fourth with Denny Lewis and Walker, everybody's favorite Ranger. On defense, we got R2 Niku and Brock McFadden. Nothing changed there, but we did give Joakim Jordan a new second pairing defensive partner in Antti Suomalainen, who is 87 overall, and Alexander Hamalainen and Thatcher Hosta are going to be rocking that third pairing because that's more of an appropriate place for them to be. In net, we got Casper Plath at 90 overall and my favorite J-Lo at 89. So they're playing a little cat and mouse game with who is the actual legiteral starter on this team. Now I'm just gonna fiddle with the special teams a little bit, and then we can basically get started on this season. All right, so here we go. We're at September 13th. We just got our lines all edited. Everything's ready to go. I wouldn't be surprised if the Tucson Roadrunners won another Calder Cup in a row. Let's just get to January here in year 7 and see how the boys do. We can go all the way to the 1st of January, probably be about 35 games into the season. All right, so we got a little bit of an improvement over last season. We're 14-17-3. I'm really hoping we can kind of like pull ourselves out of this and start really putting up some serious wins, right? So it's like, it seems like most of our victories are like shootout wins, overtime wins, meaning like the games are staying a little closer than we'd like them to. But Cavatapi is actually leading this squad in points right now with 23 points in 34 games played. We are above 500 in our last 10 games with a 5-4-1. So Cavatapi, 23 points. Sergey Snyperov with 21. And look at this, Cavatapi's a plus 12. Diesel Mcneasel, 21 points as well. Joey Terrible took a little step backwards with only 17 points so far this season. Otto Stompy up to 16. Terry Mulch with 15 points. R2 Niku, he's up to 14. Piper Placebo's got 12. Bam Bam Berube putting up some serious points now. Chancey Leroux with 9. Joakim Jordan with 9. He's a minus 11 though. Whoops. Denny Lewis got himself 8 points. Thatcher Hosta with 7. Brock McFadden only has the 7 points, but he is a defensive defenseman. Walker Ranger with 4. Rhodey Lacey with 4. Antti Suomalainen with 4. And Alexander Hamalainen with 2. So let's see what the goaltending is looking like this year. Casper Plath is above 525 games played with a 12-11-2 record, 3 shutouts, 920 save percentage, and a 2.55 goals against average. This guy's a legitimate NHL goaltender now. And J-Lo, despite having a bad win-loss record with a 2-6-1, still has a 914 and a 2.7 goals against average. Not bad. My goodness, they are facing more than Casper Plath is facing more than 30 shots a game. J-Lo is facing about 29 shots a game. But, you know, still. Anyway, let's get all the way to the end of the season, and let's see if we can pull ourselves above 500, take that next step, and really start to get inch our way closer to the playoffs. Hopefully before year 9 is over, we can actually be a playoff team and we can go on a little bit of a run. All right, so at the end of the season, we ended up in 8th and last place in our division yet again, but we did get the most wins we've had in franchise history yet again with 29, giving us 66 points on the season. I believe last year we had 62, and it was the best season we had. Something like that. I think we had, 26, 48, and 8. Yeah. No, so we had 63 points? Something like that. I don't know. Or 62 or so. I don't know. Something like that. This is the best season we've had. We are still getting better, but we're just not good enough. Sergey Snyperov with a 55-point season at the end of all things. He is now, there you go, he is now 88 overall. At the end of year 7, he had 55 points, not too damn shazabby, and he's got wheels too. This guy is one of those guys that just grew really nicely. Like, look at his attributes. His attributes are fantastic, like all across the board. Super good. Joey Terrible went to 89 overall, and he's high franchise potential. He's another one. His attributes grew really nicely. And then there's some of the other guys. I don't know if it's Cavatapi, but he had 49 points this season. Didn't grow. But he had 49 points. With him, it's like no wheels, no shot. You know, it's a great defensively, great offensively. Discipline's not exactly amazing. Diesel Mcneasel did climb up to 86, and he as well went high franchise with 40 points. He's another one. Great attributes. Those are the guys that seem to succeed a lot. Terry Mulch went up to 86 overall. He's another one, maybe not the greatest speed in the world, but a very, very good playmaker with 39 points. Artu Niku, 88 overall, top left defender. He's not the greatest speed in the world, but his offensive attributes are kind of disgusting, and he has 99 poise. How are we losing games then? He had 38 points. Piper Placebo went to 87 overall. Great speed, great hands, no shot whatsoever. Otto Stompy, 20 goal scorer. I think he's the first person other than Sergey Snyperov to reach 20 goals in a season. Mr. Otto Stompy, no wheels whatsoever, baby. Bam Bam with a 33-point season went to 88 overall. Again, no wheels, but everything else looks pretty good. Shancy LaRue with 25 points. He's 84 overall. Oh, he's got above 80 speed, so I can live with it. Denny Lewis, baby. Denny Lewis. 8 goals, 10 assists, 18 points, no wheels. Joakim Jordan had 18 points. He's a top 2 defenseman now, apparently. Really good defensively. Fits everywhere. Might toss him up on that top pairing next season. Not really sure. Rhodey Lacey, 84 overall, with 17 points on the season. Thatcher Hosta went up to 82, so he's a legitimate top 4 defenseman with 15 points. He's pretty good. And he has pretty good attributes as well. Walker Ranger, wow, went up to 86 overall. He is, man, he's a good third liner next year. Brock Mcfadden went up to 89 overall. So who knows? Depending on how everybody grows, it might be Brock Mcfadden and Joakim Jordan on that top pairing next year. Brock Mcfadden, basically defensively the greatest defenseman to ever live. Antti Suomalainen also jumped to 88 overall. My goodness, this is like team stacking to the craziest degree. And Alexander Hamalainen had 5 assists. I don't think he grew. Or wait, I'm looking at the wrong guy. He did grow by 1. All right, and he was the guy with the fewest points on the team with 5. Casper Plath finishes the season after 64 games played with a 26, 31, and 7 record, 4 shutouts, 9-10 save percentage, and a 2.88 goals against average. He stayed 90 overall. J-Lo, as his backup, had a good save percentage, but he was kind of the liability when it comes to win-loss record, right? 3 wins, 14 losses, 1 OT loss, but he still managed to pull off a 9-12 and a 2.84 goals against average. It's like he was still a very serviceable goaltender, especially for a backup, you know what I mean? All right, so what we're going to do now is simulate on ahead, see who wins the Stanley Cup, see who wins the Calder Cup. Do we think that the Calgary Flames have what it takes to win 4 Stanley Cups in a row, and do the Tucson Roadrunners have what it takes to win 3 Calder Cups in a row? It is like the era of dynasties, apparently. So we're in the second round. It's a good sign. Let's see if we made it to the third. We did, of course. Calgary Flames are in the conference finals. Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. I think they might have got swept. We're in the finals. Nope, Calgary did not make it. They made it to the conference finals, did not make it all the way to the end. The Tucson Roadrunners win the Calder Cup for the 3rd straight year, and the Seattle Kraken win the Stanley Cup. The salary cap only went up by about $500,000, so that's good. Means we don't have to sign anyone, and we won the draft lottery. Oh my goodness. That is funny. All right. So let's get through this off season, and I'll see you guys at the beginning of year 8. All right, so we're here at the beginning of year 8. We'll go to the edit line screen where everything is already done. So we put Piper Placebo up on that top line, and we get a +5 with Snyperov, Terrible, Placebo. On the second line, we get a +3 with Otto Stompy, Cavatapi, and Diesel Mcneasel. On the third line, Bam Bam Berube stays there. I tried to put him somewhere else, but it's like that third line's just where he belongs, you know? So there you go. With Chancey Leroux and Rhodey Lacey, Walker Ranger, Denny Lewis, and Terry Mulch on the fourth line. On defense, we got Arttu Niku and Brock McFadden. We got Joakim Jordan with Antti Suomalainen and Alexander Hamalainen, again with Thatcher Hosta on the third pairing. In net, we got Casper Plath, who is now 91 overall, and J-Lo, who is 89 overall. Did any of them drop from franchise? No, I don't believe they did. Anyway, let's get all the way to January 1st, and we'll see how this team is doing. Hope to God, this team's so stacked, it's like they gotta win something. All right, so here we go, January 1st. This team took a massive step backwards, 9-23-4. It's like I was sitting there fiddling with the lines for like half an hour, and it's like we're 0-6-4 in our last 10. So we better go on one hell of a run in the second half of this season. I think what the problem is there's too many franchise players on this team. It's just one of those things. It's like I think there's just too many, and for whatever reason, it seems like our top line is getting murdered out there. They're playing too much. That's one of the problems. So I wonder if I think I have Joey Terrible on the power play, and I think I have him on one of the penalty kill lines. I wonder if it would help if I took him off the PK, lowered his minutes a little bit. I wonder if that would help us. So we got Diesel Mcneasel. We got a lot of guys with 20 plus points, like Arttu Niku. Piper Placebo's playing like he's putting up points on the top line. Everybody seems to be putting up relatively decent points. There's a lot of plus players on this team. There's a couple of minus players. Like Brock is playing almost 26 minutes a night. Now, where is Arttu Niku playing just 23, almost 24 minutes a night? We got Denny Lewis with 9 points. Hosta with 8. Ranger with 8. Mulch with 7. Hamalainen with 1. Jesus. And in net, Casper Plath with a 5-15-2 record, 909 save percentage, 3 goals against average. J-Lo playing 17 games played, 4 wins, 10 losses, 2 OT losses, 885 and a 3.80 goals against average. So at the end of this season, I'm assuming we're not going to be in the playoffs. I've got an idea. I'm going to take part of my AHL team for the final season, and I'm going to get us a legitimate backup goaltender that is not a franchise goalie. And I'm going to see, watch, we will absolutely win the President's Trophy. There's too many franchise players on this team. I promise you that's half the problem. And by half, I mean the whole problem. So yeah, again, we're basically finishing the exact same every year. Or not the exact same, but really close to the same, you know what I mean? So we went 28, 48, and 6 this year. Yeah, I know it's kind of cheating. But legitimately, what I'm going to do next season is I'm just going to take part of our AHL team and just bring them up to the NHL, because I just betcha. Well, actually, I better wait before I say that. A lot of these guys are probably going to lose their franchise tag. So Snyperov led the way with 52 points. Piper Placebo also had 52 points. Joey Terrible gets back up to 50, so good for you, buddy. Bam Bam Berube had 46. Otto Stompy also 46 points. Arttu Niku with what could be a career high. Is that a career high? It's not. He's had 49 in the past. He's putting up a little bit of a resume for himself. Diesel Mcneasel with 40 points. Cavatapi with 37. Chancey Leroux with 34. Rhodey Lacey with 34. Brock McFadden with 21. Wow, that might be a career high for him. Let's take a look. That is definitely a career high for Brock McFadden. Antti Suomalainen, 21 points. Joakim Jordan with 20. Terry Mulch with 19. Walker Ranger with 18. Thatcher Hosta with 18. Denny Lewis with 16. And Alexander Hamalainen with 5. Let's go to the goaltendies, where Casper Plath had an 18-35-4 record with 3 shutouts, 909 save percentage, 2.84 goals against average, and J-Lo got into 29 games with a 10-15-2 record, 896 save percentage, and a 3.40 goals against average. Oh my goodness. So yeah, that's what we're going to do to finish things off, man. We're just going to fast track our way to the Stanley Cup here, and then I'm honestly going to just throw some normal players out here that we already have in the system. I am not going to go get any players. I can tell you with certainty next year, we're not going to be a Stanley Cup team. We're not even going to be a playoff team. We're probably going to finish the season with 28 wins, 48 losses. It's just how it's going to go. So it's looking like the new dynasty in town might be the Seattle Kraken, honestly. Oh, never mind. They just got taken out by Minnesota. The AHL playoff round's complete. I think we're in the finals again. Okay. The Tucson Roadrunners are, what are we, 4-peat champions? And the Montreal Canadiens win the Stanley Cup. So Tucson has won 4 straight Calder Cups. Wow, that's wild. All right, we're going to fast track this one, and we're going to put together just like a hodgepodge of randomness, get people where they belong. You know what I mean? So we got the 5th overall pick in this draft. I'm not even looking at it. We got a ton of young talent that's going to be coming up next year. And we're just going to go with it. We're just going to go with it. All right, so here we are back for Season 9, the final season. The question was, how long would it take for an entire roster of 50 overall franchise 18-year-old players to become Stanley Cup contenders? And the answer in this sense, I did switch the lines up. I was like, I'm going to put them all where they fit the best. And even then, the most we could muster was, I think, 29 wins in a single season. But now, we dipped into our AHL squad quite a flippin' bit. And we put together some real good lines here. We've got, on the top line, Sergey Snyperov, Joey Terrible, and Vladimir Prokhorkin with a +5 on the top line. Second line is Otto Stompy, Nicholas Seidenberg, and Bam Bam Berube. After that, we got 19-year-old Andrew Buse, Cavatappi and Piper Placebo rocking the third line, and youngster Matthias Weinhandel with Liam Kirk and Willie Anderson on that fourth line with a +2. On defense, we got youngster Carter Stasiak alongside Brock Mcfadden, youngster Travis Sador next to David Urasek, and a weaker third pairing that I might go into free agency and just pick up like an 80 overall guy, you know what I mean, with Pavel Mintyukov and Cameron Crotty, the longtime Tucson Roadrunner, 30 years old, 78 overall, depth defense, and he's a defensive defenseman. In net, we went, obviously, with Mr. Casper Plath, who has had just the better numbers his whole career, and Mr. Tyler Brennan as our backup goalie. So, I am going to jump into free agency, grab myself a third pairing left defender from free agency, and then we're going to get started, and like I said, just watch. This team's going to do so much better. There was too many franchise players. Way too many franchise players on this team. All right, so we made a little trade. We traded away someone we're never going to use again. We decided to go with a younger defenseman in Olen Zellweger. And we're going to put him next to Cameron Crotty. They now have a +2, so I like this defense a whole awful lot. All righty, so now it is time to get to the final January 1st, and I swear to God, this team's going to do so good this year. All right, I'll see you guys at January 1st. All right, we're here at January 2nd, 2030, and wow, I don't know what I got to do, man. We're 13-20-2 here in year 9. And Joey Terrible leading the parade with 28 points. My goodness, man. It's like, I don't understand it. I don't know what we got to do. Bam Bam Berube also with 28. Seidenberg with 27. Sergey Snyperov with 27. Stompy with 25. Placebo with 23. Prokhorkin with 21. Cavatappi with 19. Liam Kirk, unlike the fourth line, is actually playing 13 minutes a night because he is on my penalty kill. My goodness. All right, so Brock Mcfadden with 10 points, Stasiak with 9, Sador with 9, Weinhandel with 8, Crotty with 6, Buse with 5, Zellweger with 5, Urasek with 5. Oof, that's not amazing. What is the problem here? Casper Plath, man, not doing so great. 902 save percentage with a 3.30 goals against average. Tyler Brennan's gotten into 9 games, has a 1-5-1 record with a 900 save percentage and a 3.34 goals against average. I think maybe it's just because it's the Arizona Coyotes. They're just allergic to success. They just can't bring themselves to win. So we're done the season, and we went 34, 43, and 5. So again, we got rid of the franchise potential guys. Well, some of them. We kept, out of 18 skaters, I think we kept 7 or 8 of the franchise guys. We kept 1 goalie out of the 2, And we had the best season we've had in this franchise's history, in this 9-year history. And look at this, 72 points. That is a franchise high single season points record right there, held by Bam Bam Berube. And Nicholas Seidenberg was right behind him with 42 goals, which is a franchise record, 69 points. Otto Stompy had over 60. Sergey Snyperov had 58. Joey Terrible had 57, Piper Placebo with 56, Vladimir Prokhorkin with 45 points, Cavatapi with 41. Liam Kirk had 38 points on the fourth line. What is happening? Anderson with 27, Winehandle with 26, Brock McFadden with 25, Buse with 20, Stasiak with 20, Sador with 20, Urasek with 18, Zellweger with 13, Crotty with 8. Let's see. The goaltending should be better after that. See, look at this. Casper Plath was actually above 500 in the net. 63 games. He was 30, 28, and 4 with 3 shutouts, a 9.14, and a 2.85 goals against average. Tyler Brennan, just a 4.15 and 1 record for the youngster in 23 games played with an 8.75 and a 4.10. Not amazing, I tell ya, but again, like I said, that was the thing, right? So the question we asked was, how long would it take for an entire roster of 50 overall franchise potential players to become Stanley Cup contenders? And in our case, in the case of the Arizona Coyotes and the 20 people we created for this franchise mode, the answer was never. They will never be Stanley Cup contenders. Now that I brought some of those guys up from the AHL after 3 seasons of just stagnation, 26 wins in the season, 29 wins, 26 wins. It's like 3 in a row. We were like right in the same little spot. Now we've somewhat taken a little step forward with 34 wins this season. This is the final season of this franchise mode. So what I'm going to do, simulate on ahead, get to the end of this one. We're going to check everyone's career stats real quick, check the league-wide stuff, like all the superstars of today, like your Connor McDavid, your Austin Matthews, your Sebastian Ahos and your Andrei Svechnikovs and stuff. We're going to see where they ended up. Pretty sure we are now in the 3rd round of the playoffs in the AHL. So we will see what ends up happening. We're in the finals. Again, there you go. Tucson Roadrunners 5-peat. What do we think? The Pittsburgh Penguins take the Stanley Cup, and the Tucson Roadrunners win 5 consecutive Calder Cups. That should have been the whole experiment. It's just how many Calder Cups can you win in a row? And the answer for us right now seems to be 5. We were not in last place, though. We ended up with the number 5 pick because we were 5th last. So yes, that is a big step in the right direction. Unfortunately, this series is over. So let's go through. You know what I'm going to do, though? I am going to go this way. View contracts. We'll see how everybody's career went. So Joakim Jordan stayed franchise. Exact franchise is what he went. Joakim Jordan's career, he only had 110 points and was a career minus 488. Brock McFadden, who was kind of a gem for us, only a -1 this season in his career, 118 points, but minus 576. He just got better every year. Somehow, a career-high 25 points kept him an exact franchise player. Bam Bam Berube, who had an unbelievable 72-point season, was a +7, ended up with 263 career points and was a -209. Good by our standards, right? Terry Mulch, baby, who played in Tucson this year and had 91 points, had a career in the NHL that spanned 8 years, and he had 183 points, where he was a -391. Walker Ranger ended up going exact elite. First line forward, he had 71 points in Tucson and 102 points in the NHL over 8 years. After that, we got Sergey Snyperov, who spent his entire career in the National Hockey League, played 738 games, 180 goals, 378 points, was a minus every single season, but He actually did have a halfway decent NHL career. What would he want? I could get him for like 8.2 for 6 years. That's funny. All right, Joey Terrible, Captain Terrible, who spent his entire career in the National Hockey League as well, had himself 5 consecutive 50-plus point seasons, 738 games played, 265 assists, 378 points, minus 526 in his career. What would he want? He would want 9.1 for 7 years. I could get him for 8. Diesel Mcneasel. How did you do, buddy? You didn't even play. You were literally a healthy scratch this year. Oh my goodness. 106 points, 106 goals, 224 points, minus 412. Played 8 years in the NHL. R2 Niku, who had 101 points in Tucson this year, 254 points at the National Hockey League level, ended up becoming an exact elite top 2 defenseman. Otto Stompy, I believe he stayed in the NHL the whole time, had a career-high 61 points after almost eclipsing 20 goals like 5 years in a row. He eclipsed it twice. He had 299 career points. My goodness, 1 away from 300. Piper Placebo, who stayed in the NHL as well, for his entire career. He had a career-high 56 points this season, 237 assists. Another one, 299 damn points. My goodness. Not Prokhorkin, not Seidenberg, not Stasiak. Rhodey Lacey, baby, who had 97 points in Tucson, had 122 career NHL points in 8 years. My goodness. Everybody wants to come back, too. That's so funny. Chancey Leroux, when exact elite, is a third-line forward, played in Tucson as well, and in 8 years in the National Hockey League, had 138 points. After him, we go to Denny Lewis. Denny Lewis also played in Tucson and had 61 points. Career high for him was 19, and he had 76 career NHL points in 8 years. And I think that's it for all of our created people, right? Whoops. Hold on. No, we got to go in the system. We got a couple more. Come on, man. We got Cavatapi, who had 41 points in Arizona this year, all 9 years spent in the National Hockey League, and he had 242 points after a miserably bad start. He ended up exact top 6, 85 overall, still no wheels. Thatcher Hosta went exact top 4 defense. He ended up in Tucson, where he finally put up some damn points and was a plus 56 in the process, had 125 points in 8 years in the National Hockey League, finally grew to 85. Decent defenseman, honestly. After that, we got Alexander Hamalainen, the defensive defenseman with no damn wheels whatsoever, plus 78 in Tucson. Jesus, 46 career NHL points for him. And I think that just about sums them all up. Yeah, I'm going to throw it out there and say that... Where are ya? Main roster. Casper Plath did stay exact franchise goaltender in his career. He played 537 games, had 126 wins, 336 losses, 40 OT losses, 18 shutouts in 9 years, averaging 2 a year, and had a career .902 save percentage and a 3.69 goals against average in the playoffs. Ha! None of that. J-Lo, once he went to the AHL, he went 54-9-5 with 11 shutouts, had a .916 save percentage, and only allowed 1.62 goals per game. Wow. J-Lo. You found where you belong, apparently. Yeah. All right, so that's everybody. Now, let's go to league-wide scoring, and let's see who the leaders are, and we'll try and find some of the big names of today in real life, and we'll go see how they've been doing. Patrick Laine, 60-goal season. Let's see how his career has been. He has 1,092 points in 1,089 games. Look at this guy. He's in Pittsburgh, and as soon as he went to Pittsburgh, he started putting up some serious numbers. Well, he put up some decent numbers in Columbus as well, a 50-goal season in there, about 80 to 90 points a year. Went to Pittsburgh, had a bad first year, and then 108 points, 60-goal scorer, 95 points, 109 points, 50-goal scorer, and then 60 goals this past season. Austin Matthews at 99, the franchise center. Again, he's like 95 to 100 points a year. Look at this guy. 99 points, 50 goals, 60 goal season, 45 goals, 42 goals, 45 goals, 49 goals, 57 goals. He's a Boston Bruin. Wow, blasphemy. 49 goals, and this past season just 41. So in his career, he has 638 career goals, and he's only 32 years old. There's another one chasing down Gretz's record. Speaking of which, Leon Draisaitl, who's got 1,356 career points. He had a couple more 100-point seasons thrown in there. 111, 114, 100, 107. After that, he goes to Columbus for 5 seasons, where he plays relatively well there as well. Braden Point still kicking around. He's had quite a bit of success in the National Hockey League right there, man. He stayed in Tampa for his entire career of 1,089 games where he has over 1,000 points, almost 700 assists. Kirill the Thrill, baby. 47 goals for him. He has 836 points in 793 career games. Playing more like a playmaker than a sniper, really. Or kind of like a power forward. I mean, he's not very tall, he's not very big, but he's stocky, you know what I mean? He can do it. Johnny Hockey, who's still kicking at 36 years old, still putting up 90 points a year, about a point per game player, just slightly above, with 1,260 flipping 7. Who else we got? Connor McDavid, the 33-year-old center, has put up a couple more 100-point seasons. There we go, 123. 110, 102. After that, just 90-some points a year. Still, 1,145 games played, 1,444 points. Absolutely one of the greats. Nate McKinnon as well, 34 years old. He's got 1,330 points in his career, pushing 800 assists. After that, we have got, who else? Miko Rantan, 33 years old. He has over 1,000 points as well. He's stayed in Colorado for his entire career. Very long time in Colorado. We got Bobo Pasta. There you go. Well, look at Pasta, who's a senator. He's been a senator forever. So after the 22-23 season, Pasta apparently is going to leave Boston, and he is going to spend like 7 years in Ottawa, apparently, and crack 1,000 points with 1,116. What's that contract look like? 11 million a year. My goodness. Shife, I don't care. Let's see. Sebastian Aho, 35 goals, 48 assists, 83 points for him. He has 946 in his career, but he's only 32 years old. So you can bet he's going to crack 1,000 points. How's Luke doing? Lucas Raymond, 598 career points, and in 29-30 goes to St. Louis on an 8-year deal. Well, 7-year deal, sorry. Matt Boldy. We got Marco Rossi, Johnny Drouin, 82 points for Drouin. Wow, good for you. Brockety Walkety, 33 years old, 843 career points, 388 of them are goals. He's pushing 1,000 games played. He's only 33, could have a couple good years left in him. You never know. If he does, he could crack 500 points. I think that qualifies you for the flipping Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? Tage Thompson, 32, still kicking hard, man. Still kicking good, pushing 500 career points. He just signed a massive deal with the Buffalo Sabres, so good for him. Ike. How you doing, Ike? 33 years old. He had himself a halfway decent career with VGK, baby. Vegas Golden Knights, 1,100 games played, 929 career points. Brandon Hagel's, what? Brandon Hagel's way up there, too? How's he? He's had a good career, man. Not bad for a school teacher. All right, who else we got? Nick Suzuki, there's a big name. Just 30 years old. Putting up anywhere between like 70 and 85 points a season, 180 goals. That's it. But pushing 600 assists, 766 career points. And look at this, he's a plus 104, and he's still in Montreal, but he's expiring. Jordan Kairu, that's a fun one. I really gotta wrap this up. This is a long-ass video. Jordan Kairu, 631 career points and 837 games played. Let's just see if we got anyone else who's a really big name. Let's see how Zegras did. 29 years old. He's got a long way to go, man. Trevor Zegras, 762 games played, 408 assists, 636 points for him. His contract, 3 more years at 9.5. Good for you, buddy. All right. So that's all she friggin' wrote, man. This is going to be a really long episode. It was really long to record, and I spoke a whole lot more than I normally do. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was another 48-minute episode. Anyway, that's going to do it for me for this one. I got another special video for you guys in the bullpen after we do a couple Be a Pros, after we do a couple franchise modes, and then we're going to get back to some special videos. Probably just one-offs, but they'll probably be interesting and long and fun, and I'll let you guys know a little closer to the day. Anyway, that's going to do it for me for this one. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. There's new videos coming all the freaking time, and until next time, you beautiful melon farmers, have a good one.